Kumusta na, everyone? I am your host, Aileen Ligotizon. I am an attorney licensed here in the state of Texas and in the Philippines, and I am the managing partner of the Ligotizon Law Firm based here in Houston, Texas. Ayan, welcome sa Usapang Off the Record. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa lahat ng mga nanonood at nakikinig sa amin ngayon saan man kayo naroroon at anuman ang inyong ginagawa. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sapagkat sa dami ng pwede niyong magawa today, ay naisipan niyong samahan kami dito sa Usapang Off the Record. Alam nyo, ang Usapang Off the Record ay isa lamang sa mga programa na mapapanood at mapapakinggan ninyo sa Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy. Kaya naman, mag-subscribe na at i-follow na ang Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy YouTube channel at mag-like na at follow the Facebook page of Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy sapagkat kami po ay live streaming sa Facebook at sa YouTube. At kung sakali naman ay hindi kayo available today, mapapakinggan nyo pa rin mapapanood nyo syempre of course, ang recorded live show sa YouTube at sa Facebook page ng Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy. At mapapakinggan nyo naman ang recorded voices namin of course sa show sa Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Listen Notes, and Radio Public. And if this is your first time to tune in, maraming salamat. I'm glad that you decided to join us because we have a lot of information that we would like to share with you. At syempre pa, pag may natutunan kayo, we want you also to share it with others na sa tingin nyo ay nangangailangan ng information na nakuha nyo mula sa amin ngayon. So stay tuned for a deep dive into legal matters that could probably change your life. Ayan. And today, our topic sa Usapang of the Record ay rights of elderly. Siguro, sabihin ko lang rights of elderly kasi even though we are in Texas, may mga batas naman na federal, so it could apply. Pwedeng hindi lahat ng mga rights na i-enjoy ng elderly dito sa Texas ay maaaring hindi lahat ay available sa ibang state kasi nga ito ay then state law rin, maliban sa federal law na nag-govern sa mga elderly. So, sino ba ang tinatawag nating elderly dito sa Texas? Linawin lang muna natin bago natin simulan nating usapan. Siyempre, pag sinabing elderly yan, under the Texas Human Resources Code, yan ay individual 60 years of age or older. So, hindi pa po ako kasama niyan. Pero siyempre, marami ako mga kaibigan, kamag-anak at kapamilya na maaaring pasok na dito sa bilang isang elderly. Yan. And of course, in addition to the protection na na-enjoy ng mga Texans dito, meron tayong state law, meron tayong federal law, like I said, and state law na directly legislating or providing special rights and protection for our seniors. Ayan. Bakit nga ba may maganitong batas? Kasi kailangan. Bakit natin kailangan? Kasi may mga pangyayari na syempre, of course, our legislator have to address that. They have to legislate para maprotektahan natin ang mga elders natin. Ayan. Ngayon, of course, sino pa ba naman ang pinaka-the best na makakapagkwento sa atin at makakasama natin sa kwentuhan na nito at makapag-share ng experience, knowledge, ganyan, about our seniors. Ang ating guest syempre ay isang senior care nurse specialist lang naman at syempre siya lang naman din ay owner, CEO ng maraming mga businesses na involve ang mga elders natin at ito na rin ang kanyang advocacy. So siya ay owner at CEO of Abba Gentle Healthcare na isang home health agency. Siya rin ay owner CEO ng Angels Over Us, isang caregiver provider company. Also, ang Tuscany Living Villas, which is a personal care home. Meron din siyang kinetic therapy services. Ayan, mga therapist staffing naman iyan. At ang CBI niya ay Senior Care Business Consulting. At meron pa, Access Rehab and Wellness Center, which is an outpatient clinic. So, di ba? Marami siyang may share sa atin ngayon at marami tayong matututunan because other than being owner and CEO of all these businesses dealing with elders, siya rin naman ay overall coordinator ng Houston Association of Residential Care Homes. And she is also a nurse, coach, slash consultant for those who wanted to start their own business in senior care industry. Kaya naman kung may balak kayong magtayo ng sarili nyong business senior care industry, ay siguro siya ang magiging best resource ninyo dahil sa napakarami niya experience na ang iba doon ay isi-share niya sa atin today. Siyempre pa, ang dating Miss Bicolandia rin siya noon. Kaya naman samahan niyo ako na welcome sa ating usapang off the record, si Miss Lani Cabral Pasaw. Hayan, Miss Lani, welcome to Usapang off the record. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hi
You look,
everyone.
yes. Yes, Miss Lani, we are being watch live ngayon sa Facebook at sa YouTube. Kaya maaring later on may mga mag-comments, may mga magparamdam, mga kaibigan, o mga manonood at nakikinig dyan. At if they have, sa mga nanonood at nakikinig, post your comments, magparamdam kayo, and we will read your comments later during the show. Ayan. So, yan Miss Lani. Um, Kumusta na ang yung busy schedule?
Hectic, but I'm so used to it every day.
Oo nga, mukhang parang kayang-kaya mo nang i-manage yan and I see na marami ka ding pinapayo sa mga followers mo sa Facebook, yung
Yeah,
mga payo mo doon, I share mo, nababasa ko yung mga yon and it's really I get a lot of good advice there. So it's very helpful talaga.
yeah,
Kaya naman Miss Lani, I know that hindi madali itong mga itayo itong mga ganitong businesses. Gusto kong malaman kung saan nanggaling ito? So just a quick kwento lang, what led you to become an advocate of senior care?
yeah. When I came here, I was in my 20s and I don't know how to drive and I don't know how to open a credit card. And my boss then, she was my charge nurse and happened to have schizophrenia and she had no family. So I took care of her.
Mhm.
During that time, I find out that masyado palang maano, it's a puzzle. The world of senior care is a puzzle. So we have to do many things to apply for Medicare, Medicaid, any kind of savings program because he was a victim of the scammers.
Oh, I see. Mm.
He was living alone in an apartment when she started getting sick of her mind. The neighbors borrowed all her money, withdraw her 401k, and they said they promised her they're gonna invest in a good business, and
Mhm.
they ran away. So she had no money at all. So she came to me, and before that, we were both doing volunteer work to the church. She loves going to the church, and because I was very new, so I was always going with her. So we were doing volunteer work for mostly and for the seniors, like bingo,
Yes.
having a trip, and things like that. And that's where I find out that that was my that's the beginning of my passion in senior care. But
Mhm.
I was doing open heart nurse for many years, for about 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and while I'm preparing to open the business.
I see. Oh, so nagsimula, you started with,
Yeah, very
your own experience because navigating really the
right.
law, yeah, it's not easy unless, of course, kahit ngayon may mga experience na, there's still some surprises along the way na, oh, pwede pala yun or pwede palang mangyari yun. So, lalo na kung hindi mo alam. So, you are gonna be starting from scratch and that is very difficult. But maswerte yung kaibigan mo because you were there to help him and at yun nga I believe doon nga nag-start yung iyong pagka interest sa ano sa senior care, no? So ano naman yung best thing na how rewarding it is
Very,
to yeah, this advocacy for you.
I feel so fulfilled. In fact, it's my life now.
Mhm.
Uh, there's no days in, I mean, there's no week, there's no minute, there's no seconds in a day that I'm always thinking about how to improve the lives of the seniors, or how can I make them happy, even just by calling them, or check
Mhm.
up on them, or if I'm in the area, then I'll realize like, oh, there's a senior assisted living here or something like that, or a senior group home or something, and I'll pass by. And then every time that we have parties and there's some leftovers, I know they just gonna throw it. I mean, I'm not ashamed to get all these leftovers and
Mhm.
to them.
Yes, because of course, you have the heart to help. Alam niyo, Miss Lani, when I was in Dallas, kasi galing kami sa Dallas, ano, I had the opportunity to first-hand experience ng yung makahalubilo mo yung mga elders natin sa isang facility. If I remember, that was an assisted living facility. At katulad mo rin, na nakita ko rin how hard it is to be an elder here living alone, despite the fact that you have family, your family has their own family
Yeah.
to take care, di ba? And then they're in different parts of the United States. So, ang naiwan na lang yung nanay or yung dad mag-isa. Maganda kung magkasama pa silang mag-asawa, pero ang hirap pag mag-isa mo na. And I remember when I had the opportunity to had a chat with one of the elders doon sa assisted living facility na napuntahan ko doon sa Dallas. I remember her name. I will never forget because we had a good talk talaga. You know what I realized that yung mga elders, ang kanilang gustong-gustong ikwento ay yung buhay nila at yung family nila.
Yeah.
It was so amazing kasi yung mga elders na yun, they were very successful once upon a time. They were doctors, they were school principals, ganyan, school supervisor, ganyan. But they never talk about that. What they talk about is their family, their children. Pero nakakalungkot because wala sila. And sometimes nga, they pass away without being seen by their family for some reason. So, nakita ko rin talaga yung needs. At saka yung nabanggit mo kaninang scammers. Yan, pag-uusapan natin yan. Kasi, ngayon, I want to talk about, based on sa iyong experience. Of course, alam natin na being not just being elders, maraming mga rights yan katulad ng right to free exercise yung kanyang civil rights. Alam na natin yung mga yun eh. Dignity and respect, designate a guardian, yan. But I just want to focus right now on the part where um, they should be free and protected from abuses. Ayan. So when we say abuses, of course, there are many types of abuses. Ano ba mga nasaksihan mo na abuses na nangyari sa mga elderly sa yung business?
Uh, Most of the time, financial abuse.
Mhm.
Niluloko sila, they copy their information, and then sometimes they will open a credit card in their names,
Mhm.
and they use that, or they will issue a checks, and it's so sad that sometimes it's their loved ones doing it.
Oh, of course, family kasi silang may access eh, silang nakakaalam.
So
Yeah.
it's really sad. In fact, right now I have three clients that they are under the state. I don't
Mhm.
want taking care of them, and they are using our company to take care of them because the children, they want them dead. Can you
Oh.
imagine that?
Of course, Miss Lani, I know I had a first-hand experience din sa ganyan because I'm doing probate. I'm a probate attorney and I'm also an estate planning attorney. So I've seen this happening. It's just very sad na kapamilya talaga yung involved, ano. Ngayon nabanggit mo yung yan nga yung financial abuse. Isa lang naman yan sa mga abuses talaga namang nararanasan ng mga elders natin. Um, Common na yung of course, common yung robbery, common yan, 'di ba? Na scam. Yung tinatawag din natin na financial, yung kukuha sila ng pera like what you said. Pero meron din tayong tinatawag na free meron din mga abuses na free, ang tawag doon, free medical devices.
Mm.
I'm not sure kung na-encounter mo na ito sa business mo, yung tatawagan siya ng isang, yeah, go ahead. You wanna talk about that?
Oh yeah. Uh, One client just this year,
Mm-hmm.
someone called and that the grandson, uh, I think he was trapped in London,
Mm-hmm.
and they want them to send money, and the poor elderly sent the money.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So she eventually called the grandson. She's like, "Are you okay now, Grandma? What you're talking about? Well, you were robbed in London. Are you back?"
Mm-hmm.
You see things like
Yeah, that's what they call grandma scam.
that.
You know, so may mga people are calling just to first mga phishing pa lang mo yan na yun, they wanna get information, ano, sabihin ganyan na grandma, I have been arrested, ganyan. And then yung grandma naman, of course, yung grandma mag-start na, who is this? Paolo, who is this? You know, so nakukuha nila yung pangalan ng mga grandson because the grandma is, giving the information unaware. Oo, sabi niya, kung isa lang yung grandson niya, sabi niya, oh, Philip, what happened? O, di alam na ng scammer. And then the scammer will, follow up on that one. Sabi na, grandma, this is, kaya naman, hindi na mismo yung scammer. Sabihin, we have Philip here in our custody, blah, blah, blah. He got arrested. He needs, if you want him to get out or send money. So, ganun naman ang nangyayari. And very similar nga sa kwento mo, Miss Lani. Yan, grandma scam tawag dyan. Yung iba naman, like what earlier I mentioned ito, yung free devices, yung sasabihin, you are,
Yeah.
entitled to free scooter, ganyan, or free, ano ba yun?
You know,
Oo,
just put this. Yeah.
oo, yes. So, that's right. Yan, sabihin sa'yo na ano, sometimes naman totoo ipapadala nila. May free sila but you have to give shipping money, mga ganyan, ano. So, magpapadala ka naman dahil wow, free na ito, 'di ba? Tapos may either walang matatanggap o kaya naman may matatanggap na yung quality niya is, substandard, 'di ba? So, may mga ganyan. The other, ano naman, yung fake IRS call. Yan,
Yeah.
kahit
That's
yeah.
the worst one. The worst one. And so many victims, really. It's really sad that that's the worst one.
Yes, kasi nga 'di ba, the IRS will never call you, but our elders probably don't know that, so they fall into the trap.
IRS and Social Security
Yes.
give all these informations, or else they are not going to receive the next Social Security check next month. So they have to give all the info.
Yes. So they get all that and then they use it against them. Ayun. So kung alam ng mga ano natin seniors 'yan, maiiwasan. Pero siyempre kaya nga they need to know kasi hindi naman lahat
Never
nakakaalam.
call you. Social Security people will never call you.
That's right.
This is just today. In fact, it's just today. So
Mm.
my clients call me and she said, like, Nurse Lani, you need to do something because they're gonna stop the electricity tonight. I said,
No.
you need to have a notice,
Yes.
like before
Mhm.
notices by mail before they can do that. Oh no, I have to give $500 so they will not stop the electricity. I said, don't believe, don't.
Mhm.
I said, I'm glad you called me. Tell them to call me, and I'll tell
Yes.
you.
Tama, that's correct.
You have electricity tonight. I said, don't worry, for real, you're gonna have electricity tonight.
Yeah, they've been very creative na yung mga scammer na yan lately. They sound so convincing eh. So if you're really even professionals ay no, they fall into this trap because they're really good at it.
Oh,
Probably they're having some training. They improve their skills, 'di ba? But yeah, if you don't know it, if you don't know the system, you will believe them.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing, yeah, Miss Lani, you're saying something.
Yeah, that's really, I'll say 90% scammers by over the phone
Mhm.
and getting their money. That's the number one. And the second abuse is the physical abuse. Like sometimes the family members, they are getting tired of taking care of their loved ones. They used to love them, but after a while they just got
Oo, yeah.
and then they start like,
Mm-mm. That's true. And you mentioned the physical abuse, which is another type of abuse. Kanina we were talking about the financial. This time naman physical. And if I don't know if you are familiar with those YouTube videos that they're showing some abuses na involving mga elders.
oh,
That's very sad because they are very vulnerable. The reason why they are in that facility is because they need help and and assistance, and then this will happen to them just because other people will they just don't have a heart. Really, I don't even understand why they are in that business, right, Miss Lani? Do you have any first hand parang nakita other than the one you already mentioned na abuses,
uh,
physical abuse?
sometimes the family will just call me and then
Mhm.
check on them because sometimes maybe the caregivers. So that's really really sad. Uh, Mostly it happen if they are getting a caregiver, just individual,
Mhm.
not a business, no, not an agency.
Yes.
They have nothing to lose. They can steal, they can abuse them, they can do anything. It's just an individual person, so it doesn't matter to them. They
Yeah,
have
and then
with that. That's
that's
the
right.
problem, and it
That's
happens a lot. They just go like direct.
uh-huh.
Happen. They had no insurance.
Mhm.
They can do whatever. They don't even go
That is
to jail because like, who cares? But if it's an agency, it's a business, they have a business to protect because they will
uh-huh.
stay there forever. They have good
Yes.
hospital. So if you have
Yes.
the caregivers are all good people.
That's right. And also, Miss Lani, of course, as a owner, you do background check, you do all this investigation to make sure that your caregivers are highly qualified and trustworthy, because it's going to be your business. Whatever happened, whatever this caregiver will do will reflect on you. Kasi tayo pa naman here in Texas, there is a liability of the employer. Negligent hiring is also one thing. So if you did not do your part in investigating your caregivers, you might also be held liable. So, ang karamihan kasi ng mga nag-hire is because they think that it's expensive. There's so much things to do. There's so much requirements, paperwork. So they just tend to hire anybody. They announce, oh, I need a caregiver. They announce it in Facebook or whatever, yung mga neighborhood app, di ba?
Yeah.
So they will answer, do you know anybody? So magre-recommend. And of course, they just look at the resume. They're not gonna do deeper investigation, background investigation. So yun yung mga nangyayari. Siyempre, you don't know this person.
Yeah.
How
But
can you be trusting?
following the regs here in state of Texas, there are so many things to be done before hiring, especially if you are getting the money from the federal, Medicare, Medicaid, and you have
That's right.
to follow. Yeah.
Yes, because they're very strict as to requirements. You can lose your business, your license, if you don't follow the requirements of the federal government, because you're getting funds from them, and that's actually how the federal government controls, these businesses. Right now, Miss Lani, we have some comments here. Let's just greet. Delia, that's my mom. She's watching from Australia. Hello, mom. And then, Emmy Ligot Mabuhay, watching from Cavite, Philippines. Yan, nandito na. Nababasa ko na sa screen.
I see
Ayan,
that.
my sister is in Pangasinan. And of course, we have yes, Philip Roa. He said, who? Why am I the one as an example? Hindi po ako grandma scammer. LOL, just kidding. Great topic, Attorney Aileen and Miss Lani. Thank you for watching, Philip. I'm glad you're able to join us today. And Rusty Lopez, meron siyang sinabi dito. And I watched this movie. Is the movie I Care a Lot really happening in real life? Did you watch this movie before? Yeah. You want to talk about it? Go ahead.
I- Uh, it's sad, but it's happening. So you have to be very careful. As a family member, please visit at least once a month your loved ones, your elderlies, because it will happen. It's
Yes.
really sad. Um, just the other day, I have a friend that called me, like Lani, I don't know what to do because my boyfriend now, the the brother, he's 82. The brother is like 60 something, and
Mhm.
the brother took guardianship without
Uh-huh.
his knowledge. So now the brother have all the control of all his assets.
But mhm.
And this patient loves the my friend, and he wants to marry her, but he can't because he was declared with dementia and all.
Mhm.
But he is in his right mind. He is. So now the brother, who is now the guardian, has everything,
Mhm.
everything, and he just send some money, whatever he wants to send to his brother that owns the money.
Yes, totoo 'yan. I'm ano, I fell for guardianship then, and sometimes I am appointed as a guardian ad litem by the court. So I can very much relate to this, movie. Of course, marami nagtatanong din sa'kin na, "Is that real, attorney? Is that really happening?" Well, generally, yes, but of course, hindi naman gano'n kasimple. The movie is of course exaggerated because there's more to that. But
Yeah.
yung concept niya is real, you know, yung concept niya. Kasi ang nangyari doon sa mga hindi pa nakapanood ng I Care a Lot, there's this ano, elderly na mayroong attorney na parang ano na nila yun, business ng attorney yun na they apply for guardianship dun sa mga nangangailangan ng guardians. Meron silang parang agreement doon sa doctor. Kasi dito, in order for you to file guardianship of a person or estate of another person, kailangan may doctor's ano yan, recommendation or referral na yung tao kailangan ng guardian kasi incapacitated, cannot care for himself. So, dalawang klase ng guardianship, guardian of the person and guardian of the estate. Pero pwedeng pareho yon, isa lang yung guardian mo na ma-appoint. So, yun yung nangyari dun sa movie. So, once the court was appointed the attorney as guardian of the person and of the estate, she will now have control kasi the court gave her authority to make decisions sa personal care nung ward nung in-apply niya ng guardianship. So siya na magsasabi kung saan kasi dapat is the guardianship supposed to be for the best interest of the ward, 'di ba? So siya magde-decide kung saan titira, anong activities ang gagawin, kung ano yung mga kailangan niyang pwede niyang puntahan, kung sino yung mga pwede niyang makausap, very much the personal life of the person. Ngayon, yung guardian of the estate naman will manage the business, the estate, the assets, the properties, money in the bank of the ward. So magkakaroon siya ng control. So that's how the movie worked. Nangyari doon, of course, inabuse naman niya yung kanyang power, 'di ba?
Right.
So, pwede bang ang tanong, pwede bang mangyari yun kahit hindi ko kakilala maging guardian ko? Yes, pwede yun basta't, kasi of course the law has ano, list of priorities, 'di ba? Una muna yung ano mo, yung parents mo o yung ano, yung next of kin mo, 'yan. So yung, if you're married, yung spouse mo, pag spouse not available, you go down. Yung anak, apo, ganyan. Kung wala, you go up. Yung parents, brothers, sisters, ganyan. Kung ayaw meron man nandiyan man sila, ayaw nila yung responsibility, anybody can actually apply as a guardian, and if they are qualified, and then the court may appoint them. And so there's the control of other person. Ganun ang nangyari, 'di ba, Miss Lani?
Actually, it's hard unless there's connivance. You
Of
know,
course, yes.
the lawyer, the judge. It's really their business. They're just conniving each other. So they can have all the assets and they can control everything.
Yeah, because ang meron kasi ang attorney representing the applicant yung nag-apply maging guardian. Tapos ang court naman mag-appoint naman ng guardian ad litem para doon sa proposed ward. And then of course depende doon sa how convincing yung mga evidence mo, kung talaga bang yung tao yung proposed ward cannot make decisions for himself or herself. Yan. So then the judge will of course base the decision on the ano yan, yung referral, yung diagnosis ng doctor, at
Doctor.
saka merong ina-appoint na ano, court investigator din ang court, apart from the ad litem. So yun ang ano doon, katulad ng sinabi ni Miss Lani, in reality,
Yes.
nangyari lang yan kung talagang ano, may connivance. Pero
Unless
pero kung
yeah,
yeah, unless may connivance ano, which is I never in my entire practice naman, wala pa naman akong nakita.
That movie is very obvious. There's connivance of
Of
everything.
course, they have to show that. That's the purpose is for you to see the obvious, 'di ba?
That's all.
Ayan ako, ang dami na nating napagkuwentuhan. At marami pa tayong pagkukuwentuhan. We will just take a short break, Miss Lani. We'll see you after this short break.
All right.
Hello, I'm Mari Kaimo, Executive Director of a ministry called Roof Chamber Media, producers of The Roof Chamber Live. To date, the group has produced a total of 3 seasons, all but the first few episodes of which are available on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and other platforms. We have shows which talk about love and forgiveness, about the day to day struggles of Christian life, about the depth of the power and the beauty of the Word of God. Shows which explain how to find hope, joy, and salvation in the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. And there is so much more that we can do with your help. If you agree that the world needs to hear more of Jesus' message of unconditional love, forgiveness of sin, and salvation through Him and Him alone, would you consider becoming a Roof Chamber Media partner? Your monthly donations will keep this ministry going for as long as the Lord will have us minister through His grace. Our Patreon and Subscribe Star accounts info will be provided on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Thank you for being a blessing, and thank you for your commitment to Roof Chamber Media.
And we're back, and we still have Miss Lani Cabral Pasao as our guest for today sa Usapang of the Record. And before the break, we had really good discussion about physical abuses and financial abuses. We discussed that, and we also talk about guardianship and the concept of it dito sa Texas. Although guardianship is a state law, it could vary in different states, but the concept is just the same. What is the purpose of guardianship, diba? Is to have somebody, when somebody is already incapacitated to make a decision for him or herself, then somebody else will have to be appointed by the court to make decisions for the personal care of the proposed ward, and also if there are assets, yung kanyang management ng kanyang property. Then, do you have anything else to add to that one, Miss Lani, before we move on to the next one, the next topic?
One of the rights of the elderly is right to guardianship.
Yes.
This is important that they have to do it while they still on the right minds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I'm admitting a client, I have a checklist that they have to do it unless they want someone to take care of everything which they don't like it. So while they have time, they have to make sure that they have to name the person that they want them to be their guardians, and we need to have a living will, the power of attorney, and healthcare proxy. Those are very, very important. You may not notice it. Every time you're admitted in the hospital, the nurses always ask you about the advance directives.
Yes.
It is a law. It has to be discussed. But we're probably just kind of ignoring it, but it is very, very important. Then when you open the door in the hospital, you will see at the back of that, it says rights of the patients. When you go to assisted living, it says right of the elderly. When you go to nursing homes, always it's mandatory. It's a law, but we just
Yes.
kind of not noticing it. It is
Oo.
very important. So in fact, what you do is very important. I'm emphasizing that because I've seen it and I experience it every day. It's sad. They need to have power of attorney. They have to have estate planning, like what you said, and that's what you're doing. And so that's very, very important. It has to be done.
It has to, and you're right, Miss Lani. And I always emphasize this to my clients because, people think that this is not a priority because they have to what they think of priority yung kailangan gawin yung trabaho nila. Oh, mamaya na yan. I'll just do that later, or when I'm resting, I'm gonna do my power of attorney. So they don't see this one as a priority. When time comes na kailangan na, then that's where they get a lot of problems, a lot of issues with family members. I remember one time I had a consultation with a client na the person, their loved one, the dad is um, dying. So
Mhm.
he's not yet dead, but he's dying in the hospital. And the family, he has a son and sisters and brothers. Isa lang ang anak niya. They were arguing what to do, whether to pull the plug or not.
Mhm.
And if ever once it's done, they were also arguing about what to do with the body. The son wanted to bring the body to no the siblings wanted to bring the body to the Philippines, but the son, of course, wanted the body to be here, diba? To be buried here. So that's the problem, because hindi na pagandaan. There's no planning. And yun nga, I think our discussion right now ay tamang-tama sa tanong dito, no?
Oh,
We have a comment here. Let's go ahead and put it up on the screen, please. Ayan. Ayan si Florencio, sorry about that. Ayan. Florencio Ginhawa, of course. Uh, Kasamahan natin yan sa Philippine American Chamber of Commerce. Sabi niya, nice and informative conversation. Ayan.
yeah.
And thank you for no joining us today. And si Shell, the Seco, may tanong siya dito. Sabi niya, what is the best estate planning for elders who have assets but want to take advantage of government benefits like Medicare or Medicaid? So, what is a Miller Trust and how does it work? Do you want to go ahead and talk about that, Miss Lani, before I give my piece?
You do your piece and I'll add on.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. Okay. Where's the question again? Estate planning wants to take advantage of government benefits. Um. Of course, when you do planning, we think of the age, 'di ba? How old are you now when you're doing your plan? What are you preparing for? Malapit ka na bang mag 65? Are you gonna will you be able to qualify for Medicaid or Medicare once you turn 65? So, pinaghahandaan 'yun. So when we do estate planning, we look at the opportunity to, or what is the value of your estate, right? And kasi we want to avoid paying tax as well later on when you transfer your assets and all that. So we look at the what are your assets? What is the value of your assets? Million ba yan? Mabot ka ba ng 11 point something million? Because if you do, you might be subject to an estate tax or gift tax depende yun sa transfer ng money mo later on. Ngayon, if you want to qualify naman for Medicare later on, what we do is we create trust. Well, I would like I probably will not discuss that because it's not a simple planning when we do that. So we're just giving you an overview when you plan for your retirement. Ayan. So when you say Miller Trust, of course, it's a qualified income trust. So you look into how much your income, So if you will qualify for a long-term Medicaid care. So that's what you do when you do those kind of planning. So that's good. That's actually a very good question, because a lot of our elders, they don't know about whether they just want, okay, I just want to a will, I just want to transfer everything to my children. Yung pala, they forgot later on na, oh, before pala ako mamatay, I probably will need some help, di ba? Because I can no longer work. How am I gonna support my needs, my medical needs? Tayo po naman, habang tumatanda, if we don't make good decisions as to the food that we eat and the activities that we do, we will suffer later on, di ba? The consequence of that. So, hindi ka na makapagtrabaho, mag-retire ka na. Do you have something that in place to support your living, your way of life once you retire? So, yun yung mga dapat mong i-consider dito. Yan. So, Shell, if you want to know more into the details, we can talk about it. You can send me an email. You can go to my website and send me a message there. But Miss Lani has something to say also.
Uh, Again, based from experiences. Okay.
Yes.
Um, I have clients that they transfer the money to the children, the house, and then later on they regret because they need the money. Or most of the time, the the children or the child that they gave the money to or the house, for example, they got married and then they divorced, then the you know
Yeah,
the house got split and it's not even theirs. Or
that's true.
money in the bank and then they need it. They are begging from the child to even just buy simple things because they already give it to them.
That's right.
And
Hmm.
that's the problem there. In my opinion, you need Attorney Eileen. No, no, I'm not kidding. Because you need to do the estate planning, the trust. That's the most. I've seen it over and over with my clients, poor clients or millionaire clients of ours. They have trust. That's the most important one. Wherein you can get money forever, the trust will continue to help you. Other strategies, they're doing that to be, to become Medicaid.
Yeah, para
No,
mag-qualify, yeah.
yes, but I don't encourage that. That's my opinion. Okay, we have our own opinion, so that's my opinion. Because you want
Yeah,
to have your own, you want to have money, you want to spend your own money. Don't give in to your children yet until you pass away. That's the only time. Or else if you're begging for little things,
uh-huh.
I need that. I want to buy even just a small halo halo and you don't have money, you will
Mhm.
from your children.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your opinion, Miss Lani, because your opinion, naman, of course, is based on your experience. That's why we respect everyone's opinion here. Kasi syempre, that's how we see it, diba? Kako din. And I will agree with Miss Lani na don't give everything. Well, it depends on how much you have right now, because when because when I do his estate planning, Miss Lani, I have to ask, I have to tell the client now, when we do estate planning, we're not just thinking about when you pass away. We're also planning for yourself when you become incapacitated. You're still alive, but you are incapacitated, or you have nothing else. You're retired and you can't work. You're disabled, so not necessarily mentally incapacitated. So you gotta have to prepare for that. That's why we have all this power of attorney na na-mention ni Miss Lani kanina, yung durable power of attorney, yung medical power of attorney. Ang sinasabi ko lagi, Miss Lani, you have to have those two at least. Kung sakasakali man na tinatamad ka, wala kang time gawin yung iba, you have to have at least those two. Durable power of attorney and medical power of attorney. Otherwise, wala tayong choice kundi let's go to guardianship. You know? Kasi guardianship will step in kapag this powers of attorney are no longer available or can no longer be no executed because you're already incapacitated. Ano ba tong durable power of attorney at medical power of attorney? Regularly kasi ang power of attorney, di ba? You are just giving power to your agent to make decision based on your capacity. Pag na-incapacitate ka na, mawawalan din siya ng capacity kasi magiging incapacitated din yung agent mo. Pero pag durable power of attorney yung in-execute mo, it survives the incapacity. So kung naging incapacitated ka man, you cannot make decision for yourself, your agent now will be able to make decision for you because your incapacity did not affect his capacity or authority to make decision for you, because that's the purpose of durable power of attorney. That's why it's important for you to have that. You are giving your agent the power to make decisions in relation to financial. Yung medical power of attorney naman, of course, medical treatment and all that. That's why you need to have this too. If you don't have it yet, please. Bata man ikaw, o matanda ka man, o ano man ang edad mo, ano man ang profession mo, ano man ang ginagawa mo, you need to have this too. Okay, as long as you are 18 and above, because you're already capable of making decision for yourself, and if you become incapacitated, who will make decision for you? Your parents is not automatic, doesn't have automatic authority to decide for you if you are already 18 and above. So you have to have that. Okay? And of course, if you become incapacitated, you can no longer execute those kasi nga wala ka ng capacity to sign, di ba? So that's what is the purpose of those estate planning documents. Ayan. So,
Um, others really are doing that. So I'll say it's up to you, whatever you want. But if you want to have control of your money, then put it under trust.
That's right. So that's why you have to seek help of the professionals, your estate planning attorney, who is licensed to practice estate planning in your state, because it's a state law. So it's different from so ako as a Texas attorney, I cannot do estate planning for somebody in California. So I have to refer the client to an estate planning attorney in California. So that's very important kasi iba-iba rin ang ating state law. Wow. So ang dami nating napag-usapan, Miss Lani. I'm very happy that you're actually sharing your experience, because yun naman talaga ang reality of life. I can only tell them this is happening, but you actually seeing it and experiencing it, it's another level of authority ba? Yan.
Like, I'll tell this story.
Yeah, that's right. Your story, my story, we all have our stories, and we want to hear each other's stories because we might, learn something from each other. And that's the purpose of this show. Kaya nga tayo usapang off the record. So it's off the record, whatever is your profession. Ayan. So nako, Miss Lani will I have siguro isa na lang ang gusto kong pag-usapan, related pa rin sa elder law, yung abuse pa rin when it comes to emotional abuse, kasi nga, and I'd like to to mention ito yung tinatawag nating fake romance, because I've seen this happening. I know, right? It's very interesting topic. We can discuss this shortly. Pagbalik natin after a short break.
Yeah.
Hi, we are so pleased to be with you. Thank you for being with us. We want to invite you to be part of the Difusión Latina, Portal de Fe. We are the Spanish ministry of Roof Chamber Radio, and we are so blessed to be with these guys all around the world. Please be with us on YouTube and Facebook. We would love very much to know how God is blessing you, and please come along and support us. God bless you, and see you then.
And we're back. At syempre pa, nandito pa rin si Miss Lani Cabral Pasao. Of course, yung natin kanina, iniwan nating topic. Let's just discuss this quickly. Yung fake romance. Have you encountered this facility more? Anybody from
Yeah.
the elders?
That I like to add example on the previous topic,
Yes.
the Medicaid. So
Yes.
just 2 weeks ago, um, this client of mine called me crying, and she said, like, Lani, I got divorced.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to do this, but my son told me to do it so he can avail the partner can avail Medicaid.
I see.
And
Yes.
I'm regretting what I did because I told God that we will not be separated, and
Mm.
that was part, but just because of Medicaid purposes, they have to do it. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's very sad. Of course, it's a relationship. It's an authentic relationship, and because they're trying to be practical.
that is
Yeah,
practical, but
I know. Yeah,
okay, just one.
and yeah, actually, part din yun ng well, it's not really the kind of scam that I'm talking about when it comes to romance, yung fake romance. Have you encountered this in your profession?
Yeah. In fact, um, so emotion, I'll say it will go to financial abuse.
Yes, that's right. That's related, actually.
Yeah, because sometimes they like, especially the women,
Mm-hmm.
when the guys even like the young ones will start courting the elderly
Mm-hmm.
female, then they'll fall in love because they are lonely.
Yes.
They're not getting money from that, but it's
Yes.
it's it's hard. Then they'll when the guy will go away after getting all the money, then it's really really,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe the emotion abuse after that. It's I don't know what to say. Cannot describe it.
For sure, yes. Because you're playing with the emotions of these real people who are already vulnerable, and then you get their money, their whatever it is that they're still trying to hold on and to just to survive. Kaya lang it's sad to say we have this kind of people who take advantage just for financial gain, 'di ba? So especially now that social media is everywhere and everybody has cell phones, they have Facebook account or Instagram, ano pa ba, Twitter account, at yan, yung mga social media. So, nakakalungkot lang kasi our elders, siyempre nangungulila sila sa mga ano na family nila. So they resort to this social media. Kasi 'di ba it feels good na merong kumakausap sa nag-a-appreciate sa that you feel still significant, that you still have a life to live, 'di ba? And then magpapakita ng interest like what you said, Miss Lani, na yun tapos it will lead to something akala mo naman that it's authentic, you trust, you're happy. Siyempre masaya yung natin, yung elder natin kasi na-appreciate siya. So, buko sa loob niya na magbigay because that's love. Sa kanya love but the other side hindi. It's all about money. So pala inuubos na yung pera ng elderly, 'di ba? So that's why you said emotional leading to financial abuse then. That's really tied up. Yan. Pero minsan alam mo pag may nakita akong ganon, hindi ko alam, mixed emotions talaga ako, Miss Lani. Kasi sabi ko, I'm so happy for you kasi you found somebody who appreciates you. Your family, they're not here. You have a son, you have a daughter. Where are they now? They forgot you, but here's another person showing, making you feel important, that is good because you're happy. Pero sa kabila naman nun, like I said, mixed emotion kasi you look into the motive of the person, I'm like, you cannot, it's not being judgmental. It's just being critical. That's what I tell them. I'm not being judgmental. Sabi ko sa kanila, just being critical. Just and think about it. I know you're happy with your situation right now, but sometimes happiness is not doesn't seem to be real sometimes. So you have to um, be critical. Mag-isip-isip, isip-isip din. Tsaka ask for advice from others. Ayan. Do you have anything else to add to that, Miss Lani?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like the family members has to really visit. Okay, this was like November last year. It's COVID, so they're very, very lonely. So I passed by to one of my clients. He said, "Oh, come on, Nurse Lani, come on. I'm so happy you're here. Look at my boyfriend. Look
Uh-huh.
how so he is." So I start reading the
The conversation? Uh-huh.
that every day. I love you. Oh, you're so beautiful. I mean, like,
Uh,
oh my God. And then in the conversation, like, you know what?
I need this and that.
This one was stolen, my computer broke down, or I'm in the middle of the sea and my family have an emergency, they need 5,000 because someone passed
Oh,
away.
no. In the middle of the sea, yan. Pagka nabasa ko na yan, oh, no. You're in the middle of the sea. What are you doing there? You're not a mermaid or a merman. What are you doing? Yeah, you're right, Miss Lani. Tama yan. We have to be critical. Yun din naman ang sinasabi ko sa We have a comment here.
I don't want to hurt you, but that's
Oo.
him.
That's true kasi sometimes if you are happy, 'di ba, nabi-blind ka na sa mga iba pa. So sabi nga ni Shell the Seco, like the Tinder swindler. Hay, alam ko yung Tinder but I can't, haven't encountered yung Tinder swindler na 'yan. Siguro I'll look into that. Yung Tinder is a dating site, right? So, yeah. So of course kahit naman saan may mga taong nagte-take advantage. So we have to be very, very vigilant sa mga, sa mga nangyari sa paligid natin. Ayan.
This is cancer.
Mm. Ngayon naman, Miss Lani, very, very important din ito, of course. Ito nga yung tanong ng karamihan. If I suspect that someone, a friend or a family is being abused or exploited, what should I do? What can I do to help? So, ano ba ang una niyong pinapayo sa kanila?
Depends on the situation. So you have
Mm.
to investigate. Then if it's true, always call APS.
Yes. And what is the number for APS Adult Protective Services? Can we show that one on the screen? It's 1-800-252-5400. Yeah. And so you have to dial that number, and definitely they will answer the phone. And also, um, yun ang ano dyan eh, they are the appropriate enforcement agency sa mga elder abuses yan, elder abuse yan. So call that number and report. Family member ka man o kaibigan ka, kapitbahay ka, that's the number you dial. And of course, if it's emergency, of course, 911 ka agad kayo dyan. Okay?
I will add, Eileen,
Yes.
if it's a Medicaid client, then
Okay.
call Attorney General Medicaid Fraud Control.
Okay.
And the number is 1-800-252-8011. That
Okay.
client is a Medicaid.
Okay.
For general, just like what you posted earlier, APS.
Yes. So mostly kapag you don't really know the what happened, and you just suspected it, just call the safe number yung 1-800-252-5400 sa adult APS yan. But if you are maybe a caregiver and you have records and you have access to records, and you know that this is in relation to yan Medicare, Medicaid, the number to call is 1-800-252-8011 naman ang tatawagan mo dyan. Ayan, ako naman. So, maraming salamat. We learned a lot today. We sad to say we don't have a lot of time, but before, of course, we say bye to everyone. I'd like to mention to everybody, by the way, that Miss Lani is actually, well, this month is Women's Month, so we're celebrating. Yeah, we're celebrating women. We're celebrating each other. We want to empower each woman in the world. Saan ka man naroon. We want you to be successful. We want you to dream and achieve your dream, and however you want it, as long as you know that you're doing the right thing. But the other important information that I'd like to share is Miss Lani is actually one of our nominated awardee for our celebrating women inspiring change event tomorrow, which is this event is actually a virtual conference produced by the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Texas, the Women's Initiative, and I'm part of that Women Initiative na yan. So we have, can we please show that on the screen? Everybody, not just women, in wherever you are, everybody is invited. We right now we have about 700 people who already registered. We have programs tomorrow. Yeah, and so this is where you can register for the event. It's free, so you will be able to see some panelists, women entrepreneurs, women who have achieved, who are successful in their profession, share their experience. You might learn something from them or inspired by them. And that is why this event is called Celebrating Women Inspiring Change. Ayan, because we believe that we thrive in the business because we have something in us. We are somebody, and if you feel like you're not yet there, you can be there. You just need to know how to get there. You just need to hear from other women who've been there and who emerge as a successful individual in their own profession or field. Ayan. So my last question along for you, Miss Lani. What is your message, quick message to our viewers and listeners right now?
Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Whatever dreams you have, it will happen. Just believe in yourself.
Ayan. Thank you, Miss Lani, for sharing your story. I mean, your story and your experience and your expertise today. I'm sure we learned a lot from you. And for the audience and listeners, if you have any question for me, please visit our website. It's legaldecentlaw.com. You can send me a message or call us or schedule consultation through our website. And of course, I'd like to say thank you to our Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy and to our technical staff, technical support team, Fenji Villasin and Ponce Alvarez. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood at nakinig sa amin ngayon. I'll see you all next week sa isa na namang Usapang Off the Record. This is Aileen. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you tomorrow sa ating event, Celebrating Women, Inspiring Change. Maraming salamat. Make your weekend worth it. Ayan, Miss Lani, I'm glad that you stayed. I'm kasi baka you will leave na. Salamat. You know, it's
Live.
very, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. In fact, this is something interesting. Yung mga kabataan sa atin na nag-aano ng mga matatanda dito,
Mm-mm.
I thought, pinapagalitan ko sila, why,
Oh, wait, we're still live.
oh,
Are we still on air?